All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the lyrics and the totally infectious energy of the track Rolling Through Tomorrow. If you haven't heard it yet, picture this. It's an upbeat, groove-driven dance track that perfectly blends that gritty 90s boom-bap attitude with this modern, funky electronic pop. And it features these incredibly energetic, confident, effortlessly cool female vocals. But what we're really exploring today is the story embedded in those lyrics. We're going to follow our protagonist, who's a young Chinese woman living in Los Angeles, as she navigates this sprawling city on her longboard. We'll break down how a simple ride down a sunlit boulevard actually transforms into this powerful exploration of freedom, pacing, and honestly, finding your place in the world.
Look at this quote right from the second verse. "The wind speaks every language, I don't have to choose." This right here, this is the thematic core of the entire track. We aren't just talking about the physical act of skateboarding anymore. For our young protagonist, an expat navigating life in America, the longboard is literally a vehicle for a cross-cultural journey. She's balancing her Chinese heritage with her vibrant Los Angeles present. And in the rush of the wind, all those linguistic and cultural barriers just dissolve. She doesn't have to choose an identity in that moment. The freedom of the ride just gives her permission to exist.
Section 1. A Morning in Los Angeles. Setting the scene.
So the song kicks off with sunlight dancing on the boulevard and her longboard singing without a sound. But notice how the lyrics establish her autonomy right out of the gate. Just another morning in my own hands. It's such a brilliant way to establish her independence. She's carving through the streets, no destination, no perfect plan. For anyone who's ever felt completely overwhelmed by the demands of a new city or the pressure to just have everything figured out, this opening verse is like a massive exhale. The day belongs entirely to her. She's in complete control of her direction, letting the longboard sing as she literally takes the morning into her own hands.
Section 2. The freedom of the ride. Gliding versus running.
The lyrics introduce this brilliant little contrast. They say, the city keeps running, I keep gliding. And later on, that evolves into, some call it movement, I call it breathing. I mean, think about the sprawling, rushing American metropolis of Los Angeles for a second. Millions of cars, millions of people, endless traffic, everyone is late for something, right? The song defines all that chaotic rushing as mere movement. But for our protagonist, gracefully carving down the sidewalk on her board, that's not just moving from point A to point B, that's breathing. It perfectly illustrates her effortlessly cool state of mind against the backdrop of a frantic city. Some days, as the song says, that simple act of breathing on four wheels is enough.
Section 3. Mapping the cityscape. The Los Angeles route.
Now the song actually takes us on a literal tour of her day. It starts with the Getty walls reflect the light, which really captures that crisp morning clarity high up in the hills. From there, we transition to Venice laughs long after 5, bringing in this eclectic, bohemian afternoon energy. Then, Santa Monica breathes in blue for a beautiful coastal sunset. And finally, downtown dreams come into view as the city lights up at night. What's so fascinating here is how these iconic LA neighborhoods aren't just name drops. They actually mirror pieces of her internal journey, from morning reflection to afternoon joy to evening peace and nighttime ambition. She's experiencing this massive, sometimes intimidating new city entirely on her own terms, turning a sprawling map into her personal playground.
Then the chorus hits us with this fantastic line, "Freedom rides one wheel at a time." That number one is crucial. It's a reminder that no matter how massive Los Angeles is, or how daunting it is to find your place as a young immigrant in a new country, you don't conquer it all at once. You conquer it intimately, individually. One rotation of a wheel, one street, one moment at a time. It beautifully breaks down the overwhelming into the manageable.
Section 4. Redefining the meaning of home. The emotional core.
There's this brief lyric, "Every mile feels lighter," and it really acts as a deep breath in the narrative. We're pivoting here. We're moving away from the literal act of skateboarding and stepping into a metaphorical search for belonging. You know, when you leave your home country, you carry a lot of invisible weight. Expectations, nostalgia, the pressure to assimilate. But here, on this board, with her hair dancing in the breeze and no map to follow, all that gravity just disappears. Every mile she skates, she's shedding that weight.
Which leads perfectly into the bridge of the song and arguably its most powerful lyric. Maybe home isn't one country. Maybe home is every place that lets you smile without explaining why. This is where her identity beautifully crystallizes. For a young Chinese expat, the concept of home can be incredibly complicated. I mean, is it where she was born? Is it where she lives now? The song suggests it's neither, and it's both. Home completely transcends geography and nationality here. It becomes a feeling. It's that unburdened joy she feels while riding her longboard. It's any place where she doesn't have to justify her existence, translate her feelings, or explain herself to anyone.
Section 5. Finding your own speed. Synthesis of city and soul.
The final chorus sets up this direct comparison. On one side, you have the city's pace. The world can keep its hurry. And on the other, you have the protagonist's pace. I've already found my speed. Throughout the song, she mentions she doesn't need the fastest road or finish line. And honestly, in a society that constantly tells us to hustle, to rush, and to assimilate as quickly as possible, this is a deeply empowering realization. She's refusing to let Los Angeles dictate her rhythm. She's synchronized with the city, sure, but entirely at her own distinct tempo.
This all brings us to the song's outro. One board, one heartbeat, a million different streets, one endless beat. This right here is the ultimate synthesis. You have the physical object, the board, the human element, our protagonist's heartbeat, the massive environment, a million LA streets, and finally, the music itself, that boom-bap electronic groove merging it all into one endless beat. The bass is literally beneath her feet, and the whole city is moving together with her. She isn't just an observer in Los Angeles anymore, she's an essential part of its rhythm.
So, the crucial point we walk away with from this explainer today isn't just about a great 90s-inspired dance track or even a story about skateboarding. It's a reflection on how we navigate our own chaotic worlds. Our young Chinese protagonist found her belonging, her joy, and her literal footing by simply refusing to rush and by realizing that home is a feeling of unburdened freedom. Which leaves us with a question to ponder as we wrap up. In a world that constantly demands you run, have you found your own speed yet?